What is up everyone, today I'll be showcasing a busted team for the Summer Cup. I went 12-3 with this line, which brought me back up to 3400 rating. Two of the losses had some very annoying lag in them as well, so it could have really been 14-1 as well. But you know, it is what it is. That's just Go Battle League. 12-3 is still amazing. The team is extremely simple and easy to run as well. Just a basic ABB strategy with Tropius in the lead and two rock types in the back. I'll be running Crustle and Magcargo in the back today, but you could also run a Alolan Graveler or a Alolan Golem. I think the most important bug type out of this, or rock type in this team is a bug type, and that's Crustle. I think Crustle is a very nice pivot for this double rock strategy because its losses are softer than like Alolan Graveler and Magcargo have. What you're gonna see happen very often is that when I save switch Crustle, a Swampert's gonna come out. And well, Crustle gets obliterated by Swampert, but Swampert cannot like fully farm you down. And it would almost be able to do that with Magcargo and Alolan Graveler. Anyway, we're just gonna head into these battles and I'll talk a bit about the strategy while we're doing that. Alright, so starting off with a bad lead, you always just want to switch into Crustle. You're usually gonna bring in a counter like the Swampert, and this is fine. This is, well, this is not fine for Crustle, you get destroyed, but Crustle gets destroyed less hard than like an Alolan Graveler or a Magcargo would. So this is okay. You're gonna let this go, and now the farm down with Tropius begins. I've been noticing a lot of these Swampert are actually not running Sludge Wave, which I do think is a mistake. I think Sludge Wave is probably the way to go on Swampert in this meta, but it seems a lot of running Earthquake, so a lot of these Swamperts are just throwing Hydros into my Tropius, which sets it up for an extremely nice farm down, because I eat up these Hydro Cannons like they're nothing. Well, they're gonna get off a third, and this will definitely hurt, but no reason to shield just yet. At this point, I am hoping Magcargo can sweep this line. I'm bringing Magcargo versus the Kanto Ninetales, and they're staying in. That probably means they're weak in the back. And that is a common theme I've seen. A lot of teams only have like one rock answer, and then they're double weak to rock. So lure out the rock answer with your Crustle, and then Magcargo just sweeps, as we see here. Tropius comes in. This is not amazing because Leaf Blades will still add up, and as you could see, the Rock Tomb didn't knock out, but I just debuffed this attack, and these Leaf Blades really won't do that much. Honestly, I should really shoot one of these because they're gonna hit harder than any move the Kanto Ninetales can throw, but it also doesn't really matter. I just get off a Rock Tomb versus this Ninetales here. They're gonna have to shield. I'm gonna get off another one, and after that I can probably come in Tropius and knock it out with the energy I've stored on it. And I get off another Rock Tomb here to buff the Ninetales attack once more. They're gonna have to throw a move to take me out, so I was gonna wait until they did that before switching my trope, but they know it's over and they concede the match. GG. Alright, we had another Kanto Ninetales lead. Again, go in Crustle. Some teams don't even have a good rock answer or a good Crustle answer. So their best response is Vigoroth, and Vigoroth isn't a Crustle answer. Vigoroth really isn't a Crustle answer. You actually win the 1s if you have a little bit of an energy lead. If they bulldoze, you might even be able to win the 2s. If they would not have bulldoze there, would have body slammed, overthrown Rock Slide, because then they can, I think they can just triple body slam me there. So kind of a loose condition by my opponent there. But you know, I'll take that at this point. I can shield again, go for another X-Scissor, take out the Vigoroth. Usually this doesn't happen though. Most Vigoroths will straight body slam, and then you will lose. But you can at least take a shield advantage in that case, and Magcargo's shield advantage is really, really good too. In comes an Obstagoon now. I'm very happy I was able to get alignment here, because now I got my Tropius on the Obstagoon, which is a very fine matchup, and then I get Magcargo on the Kanto Ninetales, and we basically just win this game. Some of these Kanto Ninetales run Solar Beam, so I would recommend, if you get in this matchup, just throw your Rock Tomb immediately, but this one is actually packing Overheat, so there's no reason to be afraid. Just throw the Rock Tomb now after overfarming just a tad, and now I should be able to overheat the Obstagoon, or just take it out with my Tropius later. By the way, if you don't have a Tropius, Trevenant might work there as well. The line would be a lot weaker to Obstagoon though, so that is a little issue, but Crustle deals with that just fine, and oh, an overheat from Magcargo kills it too. Or Jumpluff. Jumpluff would also work, but it's also just a little bit less solid, especially versus the likes of Blaziken. Anyway, another pretty bad lead with the Walrein. You want to switch in your Crustle there. In comes a Vigoroth, as we saw before. This is not a great matchup for Vigoroth, so I can take some shields here. To shield the first X-Scissor, that is great. I might... No, actually this couldn't have been Bulldoze. Actually... Oh, they were. I know, they were there. They were there. So I shoot it up. Not gonna shoot up this, because I expect it to just be a Body Slam. And I should be able to take another shield. I go for the Rock Slide since I'm not gonna reach 2 X-Scissors anyway. This is how you're normally gonna see it play out, where you can't get switched because they throw Body Slams. But you get shield advantage, which is amazing. I mean, we had a pretty bad lead with the Walrein, but once I farm down this Vigoroth, I can throw a Leaf Blade into that Walrein freely, which is very nice. You're gonna get a bunch of damage first though with the Vigoroth, which isn't ideal, but Tropius tanks these Body Slams just fine with a Leaf Blade loaded now. So once the Walrein comes back in, I'm just gonna throw one in it, which will do like 50% health. And if I can manage to farm down something else later, the next Leaf Blade will kill. And looks like something to farm down comes in right now, Buzzwole. I don't throw my move on purpose, because I really want this Buzzwole to knock out my Magcargo. And then I can farm this thing down with Tropius, have a Leaf Blade stored, and this should knock out the Walrein. GG, that is how you play around a Walrein lead. Just try to get shield advantage, and then Tropius does a lot of work versus it as well. Alright, a Crustle lead is super bad for me. This is where having a Alolan Graveler in the back would help, because Alolan Graveler is like the rock type that beats rock types. But currently with like the Magcargo configuration I have, actually like ABA lose to Crustle, since both Tropius and Magcargo do lose to Rock Throw Crustle or Smackdown Crustle. If shields are up, when shields are down, Magcargo can overheat, of course, can Rock Tomb, and then you're fine. So that's my goal right here. Vigoroth comes in, and now I'm just gonna try to grab shield advantage, just like we did in the last match. It's playing out basically the exact same anyway. My opponent is throwing Body Slams, so I know I can't get to another X-Scissor, and I just take the shield advantage here. This is awesome. Gonna farm down this Vigoroth with my Tropius, taking these Body Slams along the way, as we saw before. Tropius tanks him, no problem. I might even, actually what I end up doing here, since I have a Leaf Blade stored, I'm actually gonna switch in Cargo. I don't really have to worry about the charge moves here, and the counters really aren't doing that much. So I just farm up here. Those counters do less than like Rock or Smackdowns from Crustle would have done. That's why I switched it in there, just to get that little bit of energy lead, because if I didn't do that, the Crustle would have come in versus my Tropius, and then I would have switched to my Magcargo, and I would have taken a lot of Smackdown damage, so rather get an energy lead there. And it even came in Wigglytuff, which I just basically overheated to death. Well, it's almost dead. And now Tropius can probably just clean this up, throw a Leaf Blade into the Crustle, and then I should be able to farm down the Wiggly too. This was just big teamwork from the whole team, really. Crustle taking that shield advantage, and then Tropius and Magcargo really making use of that by getting an energy lead and then just nuking everything. Alright, Galvantula really isn't that bad of a lead for Tropius, but I switched out anyway since I have 2 way better answers in the back, and I need to lure out a counter, like the Swampert right here. This is beautiful, this is exactly what you want to see. It's a purple Swampert though, and purple Swamperts, I always feel like they run Sludge Wave more often, so be careful. And my opponent actually pulls off a 5-head move here. This is kind of what I would do if I was a Swampert as well, because it's very smart. Once Sludge Wave doesn't knock out, so you throw the Hydro first, and then you throw the Sludge, because people won't shield it, thinking you don't have Sludge. Luckily though, it still doesn't knock out Tropius, so I had no reason to shield as well, and it's just super fine. In comes a Knockdown now, and again, we see a team that's just core broken by Magcargo. Galvantula in the lead, Knockdown in the back. Magcargo is gonna have a feast. But is Magcargo good enough to knock out both? That is the question. I'm actually gonna shield this because Shadow Ball is like hardest hitting move, basically. Well, it's not the hardest hitting move, but I wasn't expecting this Galvantula to reach more than 2 moves, or 1 move. That's why I shielded that. Discharge, of course, does it harder. But turns out this Magcargo, or this Galvantula will reach 2 moves, so that was actually a bad shield by me. However, it should still be fine. They shield up this Rock Tomb. Honestly, that might have been a mistake. I don't know. They do allow me to get more energy here. Nah, I don't think it was a mistake by them, since the Rock Tomb would not have knocked out anyway. Or, I mean, the Discharge would not have knocked out anyway, so it's fine. I overheat the Noctowl, since it does more damage versus Noctowl than Rock Tomb does, and it puts it in a range where I can just knock it out with my Tropius. GG, alright, another Galv lead. Going to my Crustle. In comes a Unova Stunfisk. Now this is probably the bigger problem for this team. Swampert really isn't that much of an issue, just because Tropius kind of walls it kind of hard. I mean, Tropius walls this hard too, but you can usually farm it down before the switch timer is up. That is the main reason why this team works. They cannot switch out their Swampert usually. But this matchup goes kinda slow, because they need multiple Mud Bombs, they are farming up, they can take multiple X-Scissors, and now the switch timer is almost up. It is basically up for both of us now. Even though I'm gonna get a shield here, if my opponent is very smart, they switch out the Unova Stunfisk with like a ton of energy loaded right now, and then my Magcargo is in deep trouble. Luckily though, they don't decide to switch out, they go for the discharge, but then they switch out, and that is a big problem for me, because the Galvantula comes in now, actually shield his first move, since the discharge will do a lot of damage, but it ends up just being a lunge, which is even worse for me. It's even worse for me, so that's quite bad. Gonna throw the Rock Tomb here, and I'm expecting that to be very strong against Tropius in the back, otherwise I would have not switched out their Unova Stunfisk right there. So I kind of need to knock out this Unova Stunfisk with Magcargo, which is what I'm going to try to do. I was expecting them to get to the Mud Bomb, but this is what I felt I needed to do in order to have any chance to win this game. But, I mean, they just get to the Mud Bomb here. Doesn't even knock me out, which allows them to get more farm, and it ends up being Zapdos in the back. So yeah, even if I shielded the Mud Bomb, the Zapdos would have just taken out my Trope. So really well played by my opponent there to save that Unova Stunfisk. Definitely put me in a lot of trouble. GG. Okay, Vigoroth the lead. In comes a Noctowl. This is an easy switch in for Crustle. I think Magcargo switch in would be fine as well. You can easily just take one move here. This matchup isn't really flippable for Noctowl. Crustle just wins over farm here to get to the move. And I'm just going to go for the Rock Slide. I don't think X-Scissor would have knocked out. So go for the Rock Slide right before they can get to another Sky Attack. This does knock out the Noctowl, and now we have switch advantage. We are looking pretty okay. They bring in the Vigoroth once again. I should be able to just barely reach the X-Scissor to do some nice chip damage on this monkey. The monkey? Monkey, right? Kind of a monkey. Yeah. Alright, Tropius. Tropius does fine here, as we saw, and comes Talonflame. There's actually a team I saw multiple times. Vigoroth double flyer, and you just absolutely obliterated. Alright, Shadow Warrain switch-ins are always kind of rough, honestly, because they can basically one-shot Crustle with Nerf Quake. So you kind of have to shield here. Like this team in general, it is kind of soft versus Warrain, but all three of your Pokemon have a ton of play. But all three can also get one-shot, so it's like kind of meh. I shield this, even though I was expecting the Icicle Spear, I really just want switch advantage here. That's all I care about. I get switch advantage. I'm fine. That's the general thing with this team. You either want to get shield advantage or switch advantage. Both are fine. Anyway, Vigoroth comes second. I have so much health and energy on Crustle. I can get to another, or get to a Rock Slide, and I can even get to another move if they don't throw. So I have to throw, put this Vigoroth in the red now. And now I'm just hoping that my core of Tropius and Magcargo can knock out whatever is in the back when it has a shield advantage. As long as it's not like, I don't even know what could beat me now. But yeah, Trevenant comes in, which I don't think can beat me. I think this is very, very fine. I'm just gonna Leaf Blade it, expecting the shield, bring in my Cargo here. They have like a bunch of energy though. They will reach a Shadow Ball plus a Seed Bomb before my Overheat. They're now at like 100 energy, so they should be able to reach the Seed Bomb right now. I don't throw on purpose as well. I really want this Trevenant to knock me out, because now I can farm down the Trevenant with Tropius, and then have a Leaf Blade ready for the Vigoroth in their back, and this should be an easy win at this point. They know and they concede the match. And Polion into Tropius is a pretty interesting matchup. Honestly, this is kind of a core breaker, since Drill Packs do definitely hurt, and my Air Slashers are resisted. And Leaf Blade will hurt, but it won't knock out in one time. So I think I definitely win this matchup, since 2 Leaf Blades should knock out and outpace. But it's definitely not ideal. I'm very happy it's not on the rock types though. And they bring in a jump left now, which is just super good for my Magcargo at this point. I decided to bring in Cargo here, since it's just bulkier and can take 2 energy balls easy. And I can just throw a Rock Tomb now, and afterwards farm down, hopefully. Yeah, I'm just gonna farm this Jumpy down now. I'm not gonna shield this, since Magcargo is basically useless against Empoleon. They even go for the acrobatics there, which they did to get more farm on their Empoleon, I'm pretty sure. If they energy balled, they would have only gotten like 1 waterfall farm onto my Magcargo, but now they get 2, which that's only a difference of 1, but that could come in very huge at the end of the game. I go for an overheat there, kind of expecting a shield, but still a Rock Tomb bait was way too risky, especially since an attack drop drill pack would already knock me out. So even if they throw an attack dropped drill pack at this point, I'm gonna shield it. So there was really no point in risking it with a Rock Tomb bait. They don't even get to the drill pack since I knock them out with 2 leaf blades. They just save the shield for the Wigglytuff, which is actually kind of scary since Crustle is pretty squishy. It does do a bunch of damage with Smackdown, but not as much as I want to. So I have to throw a move, which I throw the X-Scissor because I have no reason. It was just dumb. And then I go to Tropius, get off the Leaf Blade anyway, and that is a good game. GG. Tropius versus Swampert lead is very solid. In comes a Noctowl, bring in Crustle. We've seen this before. This isn't very flippable for Noctowl, so we're looking super good here. Just want switch advantage and get my Tropius realigned to that Swampert, and I should be very, very good. I'm gonna go for the Rock Slide here, but we lag, and they get the Sky Attack before I'm able to fire the Rock Slide. And now I just farm down, but I get a farm now, which is okay, but I'm not gonna get the shield back with my Crustle, unfortunately. Swampert really has no purpose in shielding these moves, since they won't knock out, and they really need to save health for the Tropius, or keep shield advantage for whatever is in the back. Another Rock Slide coming through, and in comes a Blaziken. And this is a big issue when I'm a shield down. This is a big issue when I'm a shield down. So yeah, especially since I have Cargo in the back, which just can't do anything versus the Swampert. We are not looking too good at this point. I shield up the Blaze Kick, just fine. I'm gonna try to catch a move right here on my Magcargo, since it's basically useless anyway. And yeah, this Blast Burn does a ton of damage, but doesn't knock me out. I'm able to farm down the Blaziken, get to the Rock Tomb versus the Swampert. This at least puts an attack drop on them, so hopefully if they have Sludge Wave, it won't knock out my Tropius, but my Tropius is already kind of low, so I do think it's gonna knock me out. I don't get to the Rock Tomb either. I even fired the Overheat there, which is kind of, honestly, I should have just gone for Rock Tomb, but it didn't matter since I would have gotten knocked out anyway, and yeah, they have Sludge, so knocked me out. If I would have been able to keep that shield, the shield advantage, I would have been fine, but unfortunately, I'm not able to. Anyway, we're just gonna move on to the next game. Vigoroth lead again. Very good for Tropius here. Just gonna take these Body Slams and start spamming these Leaf Blades. They should be 1 away from the next Body Slam and then 6 away from 2. Yeah, throw the Body Slam right here. They're now 5 away from another, so I can throw 3 Air Slashes before my next Leaf Blade, which I don't do since I'm impatient. I should have thrown 2 more Aerial Aces there. But this is fine, you know, just getting rid of that thing is okay. In comes a Lickitung now, and I switch in my Crustle, since I kind of want to save my Tropius. It seems they're weak against Tropius in the back if they stayed into that Vigoroth lead matchup. So I want to try to lure that out. If it's like Swampert, I need to lure that out, which I'm kind of expecting at this point, but they don't switch it in. So that's either because they don't have a rock answer, or they expect me to have another rock type in the back and they want to save whatever they have just for that, which would make sense too, because usually this Tropius double rock line is kind of common. I actually faced it. I didn't face it myself, but I saw others face it a lot and go Bowlick today, so it's definitely not just me running it. Definitely not. I mean, I faced it yesterday. I think it's in my video from yesterday. Oh no, it's not. It's gonna be in another video where I face it actually. Yeah, I faced a very similar team yesterday, so this is definitely a team that's been around. Anyway, Azumarill was not looking too good for my line, since, well, it's basically going to be able to bubble down my Tropius before I get to another Leaf Blade here. This Leaf Blade won't knock out, and I have a Magcargo, which takes double super effective damage from the water type bubbles, so not too good. Luckily, Azumarills don't run Hydro Pump in this meta, and Play Rough Ice Beam won't do anything. I'll be able to get to a Rock Tomb here. This should knock out, and then hopefully I can farm down what they had in the back as well, the Lickitung. Come on, 1 Incinerate, and it takes him out. GG. Anyway, that was the final battle. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Good luck, you battle trainers.